We're in the home stretch, but still much to learn. So we look forward to your attention. So it's my privilege to be able to moderate this final panel of this fantastic program. And the last session is the big picture. So we're gonna empower you with some great takeaways before you leave for the day. And I am joined by a phenomenal panel of leaders here who are going to share a little bit about their experience and what they want you to think about as it relates to middle school success and support as we leave this program today. So most immediately to my left, we have Linda Pulido-Esquivel, who is from the Oakland Unified School District, and she is a middle school network partner here working with the Oakland Unified administration. To her left is Christine Thielen, who is currently a middle school math teacher at Lincoln Middle School in Park Ridge, Illinois, and also serves as the chair of the Board of Trustees for the Association for Middle Level Education. And then Nancy Deutsch from the University of Virginia will round us out. And Nancy is a professor at the Curry School of Education and director of Youth Next, the University of Virginia Center to Promote Effective Youth Development. So without further ado, I'm going to start with Linda.
Thank you, and thank you for sticking around. It's been a long day. So I am a middle school network partner with the Oakland Unified School District. I work in the middle school network. Oakland Unified has divided their schools in networks. There are 3 elementary school networks, a middle school network, and a high school network. So I work with the comprehensive, the 6-8 schools, grade schools in Oakland. There is a team now for the last 3 years, we've been a team of 2, the middle school network superintendent and myself, and we have the privilege to support and supervise the 12 middle schools in our network, working to ensure that our students, our staff, and our families are getting what they need to be successful. There are 7,000 middle school students in Oakland. 75% of them attend one of our 12 middle schools. Every middle schooler, we're really happy to say, has the opportunity of having restorative justice. All of our middle schools have restorative justice. We are very fortunate that Mr. Gibson leads one of our middle schools, and their program is what everybody aspires to be, but we are slowly introducing restorative justice practices at all of our middle schools. We also ensure that our schools have access to computer science, so our middle schoolers are really getting access to computer science, to different kind of STEM and STEAM technology, and we partner with the technology companies around us. We're very blessed to be in this area where we do have great partners to do that. And we also are working on ensuring that all of our students are also experiencing outdoor education. We think that you need to have a holistic approach, not only the academic side, but the non-cognitive experiences for students. As a network partner, one of the things that I do is that I focus on supporting operations for school sites. I help with budgets, with HR issues, family complaints, working with our central facilities to ensure that our students have a safe, clean, school where they can learn, and also help principals focus on the academic piece. One of the other things that, and why I'm here to talk to you today, is that I also manage the Measure G1 parcel tax. In 2016, in November of 2016, Oakland voters passed a parcel tax that was going to support teacher retention as well as middle school electives. So the Measure G1 is called the see, it's the Measure G1 District-Wide Teacher Retention and Middle School Improvement Act. It's a $120 parcel tax that is received from and collected by our county. Last year, we received $11.6 million. 11.4 million of that went out to schools. And the Measure G1 parcel tax is shared between Oakland district schools as well as our Oakland charter schools. The parcel tax, there's a 5-person oversight committee that advises the school board on the accountability and allocation of the parcel tax. As a district, we are part of the staff that supports them. So we are a pass-through to them. I do like all of the work to get things ready for them. So I'm the person that works with our district schools and our charter schools to determine what are some of the programs that they want to invest in with their Measure G1 money. There are 5 areas that Measure G1 covers. The purpose of the, and it's broken up into the 2 pieces. So if we think of the $11.4 million, 65% of that is spent for the staff retention and the teacher retention. It's school site educators. There was a decision that it would be school employees that spent 75% more of their time working with students that would be eligible for this bonus. And then 35% of it is what's spent on the middle school electives. One of the findings was that due to our ever decreasing state and federal budgets, one of the things that was being cut from our middle schoolers, because they are in the middle and, you know, they're not in high school, and not in elementary, was music, art, world language. So those access to those type of classes, that type of programming, was going to the wayside because there wasn't any money. And one of the other things that we found was that we were losing students to that. They were looking for other parents, as they were looking for schools, were looking for other types of programs that did offer music and art, and they would have the opportunity to have world language to get them ready for high school and eventually college and career. The other side is the school climate and culture, which is also part of the safety that Mariam spoke of. Oakland Unity Middle School is one of our charter schools that receives a Measure G1 allocation. And the feeling was, as they were looking at creating this parcel tax, was that we wanted to make sure that we had safe schools. Many of our schools are located in areas that have a lot of trauma, that are not in the safest places, and we wanted to make sure that schools would have the ability to pay for some of those services that, again, we don't normally have funding. If we think about it, our state and federal funding covers our teachers, our core classes, just the basics of what we need. So we want to make sure there was something else that we can do for them. And then the last piece was the 5th to 6th grade transition. In Oakland, we lose a majority of our students from 5th to 6th grade. They go either, from district schools, they either go to a charter school, if we think, and I think that as we were looking at the parcel tax, we're thinking, what do we need to do for district schools? Or if there are other schools of choice, we have a large percentage, especially in the schools that are located in the hills or places where there is choice. They leave the district and then come back for high school. So one of the things was, if we kind of started offering something that was attractive, hopefully we would have, we would be able to retain some of our students or grow our enrollment. And then the biggest portion, and a very important portion, and I think sometimes it's the easiest portion, is the district-wide teacher retention. And that is to ensure that our teachers and our school staff has a livable wage. We live in one of the most expensive places, and when the parcel tax is being written, we wanted to make sure that teachers could live where they work. Oakland has one of the lowest paying, is one of the lowest paying districts for teachers. I'm trying to think here. Our average salary for a first-year teacher is about $47,000, and at the end range, it's $85,000. Where at other schools in the districts in the county, the starting is at $57,000, and it goes up to $100,000. In a place where one-bedroom apartment costs $2,000 a month, that's really, really, really hard to attract and retain our teachers to be here. So that was one of the pieces. And the other piece for the retention is that in middle school, we lose the most teachers. The turnover rate is horrible. Our retention rate for first-year teachers is 67%. By the third year, it's down to 36%, whereas in elementary school, it's 81%, and after 3 years, it's 61%, and even in high schools, which scare me because I loved middle school as a kid, so I'm like all about the middle there. 75% of our first-year teachers return, and 50% return to our high school. So middle school is an area, is a place where I think most people think, like, you teach middle school, you work in middle schools, as other people have mentioned, but we're feeling that. So this this parcel tax was meant to help improve those. The way that it's structured, and I may have gotten a little ahead of it, is that there is the way it's divided and allocated is that we look at all these middle school enrollment in the district and at charter schools, and we allocate it based on enrollment and the unduplicated count, what we call the LCFF percentages, in hopes of providing some equity. So there's money that goes to charter schools, that goes to district schools, and then based on individual school enrollment is how each school is given their allocation. What we did is we started in 2017, we started a 50%, we wanted to start early. We started 50% in elementary, 17, 18, 50% in 18, 19, and this is the first year they have 100% of their funds. What most of our schools use it on is art and music, and we've seen a huge growth in the safety and culture piece, especially around our charter schools. So at the district schools, we have some of those systems in place. We have restorative justice. We have different behavioral health and mental health systems. So our schools tend to spend their money on providing art, music. Foreign language is a really difficult area to fund, but that is what we see happening. I think that we are looking for other partnerships with community and private donors. It's just a really difficult and unsustainable thing. So by having a parcel tax, we were able to augment that lack of funds. It's a 12-year parcel tax, so we hope that we can assess moving forward.